to the Minister of State, the Director of IPPG, special invited guests, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to have the opportunity to speak to you on this very occasion at this second summit on Ghana to deliberate on the development agenda. We don't have a plan B because there is no plan B. This is a quote from the former United Nations Secretary General, and all he was trying to say was for us to focus on the very planet we have, which is planet Earth. The question is, how do we make it sustainable? How do we develop and efficiently harness the resources we have on planet Earth? So transitioning from the MDGs to the SDGs, as the Sustainable Development Goals, we know there's been a lot of goals that have been increased, targets have been increased, and indicators have been increased, and that also calls for more action on what needs to be done on the development agenda. A few years ago, I listened to a presentation at the School of Oriental and African Studies, SOAS, University of London. They invited an alumnus to speak, and he chose the topic trade, not aid, an African perspective. Over the years, we've seen a continuation or a deliberate or conscious effort across the continent by governments wanting to wean themselves of aid. Countries around Africa, especially in the developing world, are trying to move away to become more aid independent and focus more on trade, which we think is a good thing to do. Development, we also think, is intentional, meaning it has to be done deliberately. You have to be conscious about it. It's something you want to get done. So we also are very much in tune with the presidents in recent times saying that Africa can develop without aid, and also Africa can move beyond aid. And I think this is very much so, especially for resource-rich countries around the world. Now, moving from the MDGs to the SDGs, we've seen that there's also a shift from only a focus on the developing world to both developing and the developed. Now, both developing and developing worlds have resources. So the question is, how well are they harnessing these resources for the good of their people? And we can confidently say some countries are doing their best in that regard. And in doing so, financing plays a key role, and investment also plays a key role. Once you have resources, it means you can generate money, you can generate funds. But the question is, how well do you manage those funds you generate so that it would affect whatever development agenda you have to implement? That's where proper investment comes in. Some countries have been able to build funds, again, not mentioning any country in particular, been able to build funds in the billions and in the trillions. And again, I started by saying almost every country in the world has resources. So focusing on Ghana, we are also very well endowed with so much resources. So the question is, how well are we harnessing them? How well are we putting them to use? Investment is also intentional. If you look at some of the oil-rich countries around the world, much as some have been able to again build such funds, others are still wallowing in wars and poverty and deprivation. And we see examples all around the world, in South America, in Africa, and other places. So as an investment firm, we are very proud of this initiative. We are very proud of what you're doing, and so we thought to become key sponsors to this particular program. We do investments, so as a company within the space of Ghana, we are doing or contributing our quota towards educating the people, partnering with various projects, institutions, to ensure that people become investment aware. On the small scale, a product like, a mutual fund is not saying you should have all the big funds, but however little it is, you can start from somewhere and also in your own small way begin to build your investment portfolio. On the wider scale, as a country too, we think that oil-rich, cocoa-rich, gold-rich provides the ready resource that can be efficiently harnessed, tapped into, and invested properly, so that funds can be created for a better tomorrow. I end by quoting the tagline for one of our products, which says, "Manage tomorrow today." I started by saying development is intentional. Investment is also intentional. And so if you start today, whatever you do in investment will help you to manage your tomorrow from today. Thank you so much for your time.